We are back for a second in the Lighthouse Diary. I told you that we were going to talk a little more about sex, and this episode is basically one of those episodes. I don't know for how long, but I'm going to try to stay as concise as possible. So, yeah, this is basically a continuation of my confession video. Um, Yeah, I want to start off by saying I don't want to take your well wishes for granted. So I figured I want to hold myself accountable with you because, it has always been a safe experience up until now to talk about my struggle um, with my codependency related to downstairs. Um, But yeah, I don't want to blame Bay for that. And if you have been in the Lighthouse Diary for a minute and a half, you know that the Bay I'm referring to happens to be another female. Um, yeah, I know it's a little bit of a controversial topic um, in the faith community, but hey, something had to be said, right? But yeah, I guess I can go deeper into that like another day. But what I really want to get into today is that I notice that I tend to get um, stimulated by, you know, certain personal triggers of mine. Apparently, yeah, I'm starting to become more mindful of it too. I'm surprised I didn't notice this 5 years ago, but basically, if not earlier, I tend to be drawn to um, female brunettes with a very defined, distinct, dark eyebrows and, yeah, typically dark eyes. Um, and I would get kind of intrigued if they have a specific kind of chest, if I'm being completely honest. Not that I haven't seen other actresses or models, however you want to refer to them. But yeah, I noticed that I tend to have a weakness for the dark eyebrow brunette with a cute face. Um, but she also has yeah, she doesn't just look like your everyday Barbie doll. She also has like this kind of um, this edge to her. I guess you could say I guess that you could consider that my type in terms of the flesh. Um, yeah. Um, yeah, I don't mean to be like disrespectful when I say this, but it's not that I can't find blondes cute, for example. Um, but yeah, usually, I mean, no disrespect to anyone who is naturally blonde, but typically, when I go about my daily life, um, I I don't mean to hurt anyone's feelings or step on anyone's toes like when I say this, but the blondes that I would usually see in my day-to-day life, like in Toronto, I would kind of consider them um a little white for my taste. This isn't something I should be laughing about, but and again, like I hope I didn't offend anyone when I said that. Um, but yeah, but likewise, there are definitely plenty of people here in Toronto that would be repulsed by me, so I can't really say shit. Um, yeah, there definitely have been plenty of people who would go out of their way to let me know, like, oh yeah, you think you're all this, and but you're a toad, you're this, you're well, like I'm kind of over exaggerating, but like just to give you an idea of the kind of comments I would get. Um, but yeah, long story short, like it's not okay for me to jump into um, trysts and uh, jump into media, like even if it's uh, on the softer, less violent side, um, out of spite, you know, I still have work to do in that area, and I wanted to be vulnerable with you about that. Yeah, I know, like, me confessing that doesn't necessarily absolve me or excuse me for what I've been into. Um, but yeah. Yeah, again, I still try to limit myself, limit how far my um, urges go in reaction to triggers that I would see in media. Um, but yeah, the main thing that I kind of notice with my internal dialogue, um, yeah, I know, like from a worldly standard, from I guess you could say like an industrial standard, I wouldn't be like considered a bona fide visual artist. Um, but yeah, I kind of punish myself a little bit still for not creating drafts and coloring those drafts, um, so on and so forth, um, as often as I envisioned myself doing as a kid. So I'm thinking kind of starting a bit of a behavioral contract when the urge gets overwhelming in reaction to visual, or it's more likely audio triggers for me. Um, I guess you can consider me an audiophile of sorts. But yeah, not to use that term lightly. Yeah, I'm thinking, maybe put on a documentary kind of thing, something that will still like stimulate me, but also the way that the speaking, the way the presentation is like in that documentary, make sure that it's like a soothing kind of presentation. Take for example, I'm still subscribed to her Illuminati II, and it's like the word like naughty like in the middle, and then like ends with an II. She's also known as Blair. She has a lovely white puppy named Casper. I don't know if I mentioned them enough or if I mentioned them previously, but yeah. Maybe like put on one of her commentaries and start drafting or coloring something, playing with my colored pens, and yeah, see what comes up. And yeah, let's see how this goes. I guess this is like an unexpected series that I want to update on you, update about for you further. Um, yeah, there's definitely more to talk about in terms of my codependency with downstairs, but I will save more of a discussion on those feelings of spite for another time. Um, so I'll see you in the next Lighthouse Diary entry. And as always, thank you for being a friend. And yeah, virtual hug. Thank you for allowing me to be honest with you.